the Middle East, a place of great beauty and fascinating history. Our neighbors to the east have a rich history in politics and religion. It may be interesting to some to learn that the foundations of the current-day Middle East were shaped through socialism, democracy, and Islamism. To better understand the complexities of change over time, one must take a leap to the fall of the Ottoman Empire. With details from authors John Donahue and John L. Esposito in their book Islam in Transition, and author Peter Mandeville in his book Islam in Politics, I will lead you down a path of discovery. The question is, how did the Middle East take such very political paths when the Ottoman Empire seemed to have held relative continuity on the political spectrum? And what were the features of these varying ideologies? The fall of the Ottoman Empire left the region weak, allowing for the infiltration of European forces into various sections of the Middle East. It is through European colonization that destabilization of religion and government spreads. Europeans desired to create colonies through various portions of the Middle East, and prompt desertion of colonies that were considered no longer important left peoples and communities torn and in chaos. Grasping for a source of stability, citizens looked to the remnants of days past, to socialism, secularism, democracy, nationalism, and Islamism. Soon, varying political and religious ideologies emerged, and in some cases, clash. Michel Aflaq was principal founder of the Ba'ath Party, a Syrian philosopher who prompted socialist ideologies. Aflaq once said, quote, "Now is the time for us to remove this contradiction and to restore unity to our Arab personality and wholesomeness to our Arab life," end quote. This experience wasn't unique to the Ba'ath Party. The Third Way was a socialist movement that Muammar al-Gaddafi chaired in the 1960s. Others followed in his way of thinking for years. Islamic socialism argued for the rights of all citizens and focused on the acquisition of these rights through principles found in Islam. Emergence of democracy in the Middle East was no surprise, as remnants of European ideals lingered. The political and cultural impact of these governance was particularly controversial. Secularism was a European concept and not deeply rooted in Arab tradition. Muslim writers such as Abu al-Muwadi championed Islamism, writing pieces such as Political Theory of Islam, where he outlined how a government ran by the people could not align with Allah or the practices of Islam. Muwadi was clearly against democracy in the Middle East, citing that it did not adhere to the higher law. Conversely, Egyptian-born scholar and Muslim Brotherhood member Fatih Osman argued the Quran states that people have the power to create a government. Citing the Quran, chapter 4, verse 59, Osman states that the Muslim people and those who, quote, are entrusted with authority from the amount them by them, end quote, meaning that even the Quran speaks of this type of political system. Democracy lingered, but the reception of this practice was varied. Countries that underwent the stripping of cultural and political norms were forced to live with opposing ideologies. When the British were done in the region, they left unstable colonies and inadvertently created chaos on the level that wouldn't be realized for years to come. In the end, there was no tidy bow at the end of the story. Politics and religion were intertwined, and radicalization of religion eventually would emerge as the result of the push and pull felt through the Middle East. As with most British conquest stories, the land and the peoples of these regions were torn apart and left to rebuild countries alone. But the scars of colonization still linger, and the influence of Europe cannot be undone.